So hi, I'm Erin Heinzen. I'm a neurogeneticist at Columbia University. I've been at Columbia for since January of 2015. For the past 6 years, I've been studying alternating hemiplegia of childhood, the genetic basis of the disease, and also characterizing the effect of the mutations. So in 2012, I was part of a large collaborative group who identified the primary gene responsible for ATP or for AHC. And since that time, we've been doing quite a lot of work to learn more about this gene and the various presentations in patient populations. So I think the next critical phase is that we start to begin to learn what these mutations are doing in the brain. That's certainly a critical step. We're at a very unique time where we have a tremendous amount of technologies that will allow us to do this. So there's cutting edge genome editing approaches that we can use to study how these mutations affect the brain. We can edit these mutations into cell populations and study exactly what they do. We can also do this in mouse models, putting these mutations that cause human diseases into mice and studying the effect. In addition to that, I think another key piece that we need to continue to progress in this field is to continue to look at what other genes are causing AHC. So while we have certainly discovered the primary gene and we can explain the majority of patients with this condition, I think it's really important that we continue to try to explain these patients who don't have the mutations. By identifying these genes that have even similar phenotypes, even if it's not exactly like AHC, will really give us clues onto how these mutations cause the disease and help guide some of this functional and molecular work that we need to do to understand the effects of the mutations. We'll certainly have a better idea of that, after we get a better idea of the changes that are occurring in the brain, because, a big critical question is, are there medications currently available that could help these patients? And, if we learn what's going on in the brain and then and there is an available medication, then that's certainly a much faster route than developing new medications, which takes many more years. And, when you have to go in and test these compounds in animal models and really learn and be sure that they're safe before going into humans. So, I think it's a little bit unclear at this stage, but, I would say in the next 5 years, we will certainly have a very good idea of what that trajectory is going to look like. For the genetics, there's such a small population of ATP1A3 negative patients. I think the community coming together and really making an agreement that we're all going to study these patients together is really critical. Because it's such a small set, we're not going to make a lot of progress doing this on our own. So if everybody can, make every effort, all the scientists go out into the community, all the clinicians really keep their eye out for these patients, and we develop essentially a consortium for us to study these all together, is really going to be critical for us to identify the currently unknown genes that might lead to the disease.